What's up, you guys? Welcome to today's video. As you can tell by the title, we're going to be doing a Q&A. I asked you guys probably several times on the community tab here on YouTube what questions you guys had for me, and man, y'all asked me some really good questions. I actually forgot to put a Q&A into episode 4, so I'm kind of just gonna bundle all these questions together from like last month when I asked you and a few days ago. You guys asked some really deep and heartfelt questions, some very difficult questions to answer, and you even asked some questions that I hadn't even thought about. So I'm going to once again be vulnerable on the internet and like air out dirty laundry and tell y'all how I feel and just go with it, because that has always worked out so well for me in the past. If you don't already follow me on all of the socials, go ahead and do that. I am now on Spotify, and they have like the video podcast-like type of situation on Spotify. I will link that down below, as well as my Patreon, my vlog channel, my Facebook, which is like, y'all are going crazy on Facebook, and I am so grateful for all of the love and kindness that I'm getting over there, and we're almost at 1 million. Well, that's not entirely true. I don't know my own numbers. I think it's almost to 1 million. Yeah, so we're at 803,000. 803,000 followers on Facebook. Man, thank you guys so much for all the love over there, and I really need to start doing live streams. I'm just a little intimidated of Facebook because I get a lot of love, but whew, people choose violence over there. Like a lot. There's a lot of violence. I have finally been posting more on Patreon, and there is a chat section on Patreon now, like not like the comment section, like a chat section, so we can chat over there. And I downloaded the app on my phone, which is like a big deal for me because, first of all, it's so many apps. It's way too many apps, you know, and it's very hard for me to keep up with 2 YouTube channels, Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, Patreon, emails, drinking water. You know, there's a lot going on, so it is really hard for me to keep up with all of it, but there is a chat section now on Patreon, and I can upload more now because I downloaded the app that I didn't know existed until last month. All right, without further ado, let's kick this thing off. I never know if you guys want me to read your like handles out when I'm reading your questions, so I'm not going to, just so that I don't know, some people might not like their name being read. I don't know. But this person says, if it's okay to ask, how do you get the courage and resilience to keep doing YouTube as opposed to abandoning the channel entirely? After witnessing the harassment you've endured, I don't know if I could be as resilient, and I confess the potential of online harassment keeps me from publishing videos, even though I've filmed a lot this year. To be honest, I'm also currently pregnant with a high-risk pregnancy and was too scared to do anything to jeopardize that health-wise. Good decision. To be completely honest, I think your decision is absolutely the right one, because as amazing as y'all have been to me, and as blessed as I have been online, it has obviously come with challenges. And something that I have realized over the years, meeting different creators in different niches, I've realized that it's not just me that is getting the kind of hate, harassment, criticism, intrusiveness, invasiveness, gossip. You know, I'm not the only person that goes through that. For a long time, I thought that because of what I was talking about, that is kind of the reason why so many people, like over the years, have been extremely nasty and hateful and just mean. And please don't think that if you've left me a comment not agreeing with me, I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people that literally call me horrible names, and this has been since day one, right? I thought it was because of the content that I was creating. Then I started watching other content creators who are like literally wholesome. You can make garden videos and you'll get like violence, you know, like you could be Mama Tot and get the most vicious, hateful comments, and that has kind of helped me realize like, oh, I'm not alone. It's, you know, it's just kind of what comes with the territory of becoming a content creator. I will say, just to circle back to the beginning of your question, you asked how I find the resilience to keep posting. I'm sure you guys have noticed that I haven't posted my same posting cadence. Is that what it's called? I haven't posted with the same, you know, velocity what am I trying to say here? I haven't posted a lot of fucking videos. I haven't posted a lot of videos in 2023, and you guys, you know why, which has led more people to criticize and, you know, do like conspiracy theories or whatever. It's made a lot of the rumors seem more real because I'm not posting a lot. Unfortunately, a lot of my joy in 2023 has been taken when it comes to posting. Like, I love making content. I hate editing content. That's ew. But I love filming and creating content and writing skits. And when I say write skits, I mean get an idea and go with it. None of my skits are actually physically written down. I just like get an idea and they're all on the spot. They're all impromptu. That's why I love TikTok so much, because I can kind of just be like a freaking clown over there. I can write skits and do funny videos, and it's fun, you know? I kind of just started getting back into that, which makes me feel so good. So I feel like I'm rambling, but to kind of answer it simply, it's come in waves. And for me, I haven't wanted to film because for so long, this was like, if I had a bad day, I wanted to talk to you guys about it. If I had a good day, I wanted to talk to you guys about it. If I remembered a story from my past, I wanted to tell you guys about it. I was very excited to share my story, and I never in a million years expected the channel to do so well. And now, because of all the things that have happened in 2023, people every day, you know, get online and say that I lied about my story and I built my brand off of lies, that I'm a fraud, that I'm a CI, that I'm all these things. And it's just so frustrating because I have poured my heart and soul into this channel. I have given this everything that I have. I have gone to places mentally, emotionally, and spiritually that I've never gone before in my life right here on this channel. And for people to pick it apart, call me a liar, straight up make things up, or even question my integrity, I didn't know how to handle it for so long, you know, but now it's like, fuck it. If you want to think I sold drugs to myself and put myself in prison, cool. If you want to think I knew I was pregnant on the street at 3 to 5 weeks pregnant before I got arrested, you can think that all you want. I lied to the cop, never lied to you guys, you know, and not for nothing. That happens all the time, by the way. People lie on scene with officers to try to explain away why they're doing what they're doing. So, and mentally I know that like I would have been treated like better. And I don't know what I was thinking at the time, but like I'm looking back to that moment. I knew that the potential for me to be treated a little bit more gently by officers on scene at 4 a.m. or whatever the fuck time it was, the probability of me to not be manhandled went down if I said I was pregnant. I don't remember saying that. It's fucking crazy. It's crazy that I said that, but not a lot of people find out that they're pregnant between 3 and 5 weeks along, which is how far along I was when I was arrested. You know, so believe it or not, take it how you will or not, it doesn't matter. I found out in county jail. So how have I pressed forward with that and dealt with all of that and dealt with doxing and victim blaming and harassment and people coming to my door? And again, please don't come to my house, but I have handled it in waves. Some days it's really hard, and some days it's like, we are where we are. I can't change it. I just have to keep moving forward. And I am desperately trying to get back to me and do the things that I love, which is cooking and painting and creating content and doing skits. Those are the things that I love. I want to finish my book for you guys because I've promised that for so long, you know, and I really want to pour into myself. And that's something that I haven't done. Oh, I just got cold chills. That's something that I haven't done probably ever. I have never just poured into me. You know, everyone always comes first. Obviously, my kids come first, but everything and everyone always came before me. You know, I'll cook for an hour, and by the time I sit down with my food, it is cold. You know, and that's probably never gonna end, but I wanna pour into me. When I say pouring into me, I mean like trauma therapy and self-care and just making sure that I am doing the things I need to do to stay healthy. And when I say healthy, I literally mean because of the trauma that I endured. I know that there has been a lot of speculation with my recovery, and it's kind of made me want to just kind of retreat, you know, and not talk about it, which is ridiculous because my entire internet career, I've always wanted to share things with you guys. Oh my God, I feel like I'm rambling. I don't mean to, but I've always wanted to share things with you guys, and now I kind of feel like lost in a sense because I don't know what to share. I don't know how to frame things, you know, and it kind of just builds and builds, and then I'll bitch about it on TikTok, or I'll do a rant, and I know that I shouldn't, but it's like, fuck, man. I did not relapse. I have been drug tested all year long. All year long I've been drug tested. My abuser, who literally relapsed for an entire year, has not been drug tested not one time. It is very challenging to heal while still enduring post-separation abuse. I am, like, my nervous system is still overloaded and extremely stressed, and I'm still, you know, uncertain when it comes to what's happening in the future, but I push forward in little doses and little increments. That's how I've found the resilience to do it, because if I dove back in and I was filming the same amount of content, it was 5 YouTube videos a week at one point, like 3 on this channel, 2 on the vlog. It was a lot of TikToks. I was doing a lot of interviews. I was collabing. I was flying to this place for that podcast or whatever it was. And because of everything that has gone on, I feel like I kind of lost my like my mojo or my spark, and I think it's slowly starting to come back. So I don't know if that answered that or if I just rambled on for an eternity. My brain. So I'm just reading these from the community tab. Looking back, were you ever scared of your ex and just started to realize it now? Like, did he make you uneasy or uncomfortable, but you didn't give it much thought? It takes a lot of courage and strength to leave. I'm glad you got out. I just wish he would have got his shit together. I just wish he would get his shit together and leave you alone. Much love. I was always on eggshells around my ex. I wasn't scared of him though. Like, that's the difference. Like, and I'm not scared of him all the time now. And I think that's what people don't realize when it comes to narcissistic abuse, which that is what I have experienced right now. I'm experiencing post-separation abuse, and it has gotten a little bit better, but we'll get into that in a second. I'm not afraid of him all the time. I wasn't afraid of him all the time last year during the relapse. But our entire relationship, I have always been on eggshells. Those eggshells turned into broken shards of glass. The eggshells came from not knowing where I kind of stood with him, not knowing what mood he was going to be in, if he had a bad day at work. And he is not the kind of narcissistic person or toxic person that is outward. Like, he would never like scream at me or yell at me, or like, he wasn't this big, like, grandiose, violent kind of person. That's not how he is. He definitely can get that way. He did get that way, you know, during the relapse. But it was subtle, covert. A covert narcissist is a lot more subtle in their tactics. Like, he would straight up, you know, tell me, if I would ask him, hey, are you mad at me? He would tell me no, but he is mad at me. He has saved that in the internal database, whatever it is that I did that upset him. He saved it, and he will get me back somewhere down the road, and he will do it in just a very sneaky way. And I don't know how to explain that, but narcissistic personality disorder is on a spectrum like anything else. There's different variations, different levels. My ex is a very covert narcissistic person. He thinks the rules don't apply to him. He is very arrogant. He is very smart, very charismatic. The way that he brags is not, he kind of subtle brags, if that makes sense. I'm saying all of that because it took me so long to realize that what I was going through was narcissistic abuse, because it was very subtle, very covert, tiny little things along the way. And before I realized it, I had no control over my life, specifically when it came to our finances. I wasn't ever scared of him until the relapse. And the relapse is what made me start looking like closer at finances, at where he's going, what he's doing, who he's talking to. And because even just the way that I frame that, it's not funny, but I'm smiling because the way that I just said that, he would say that like I'm stalking him. Like, no, we are engaged. This is a almost 9-year-long relationship. We have 2 kids. I want to know where the fuck you are and who you're with and what you're doing. That's bare minimum. You know what I mean? So for example, I pulled phone records one day and found Yep, of a lot of things. And that was just one bill, the phone bill. And keep in mind, I didn't see bills our entire relationship. I didn't see them, you know? Of course I paid, but I just gave it to him, you know? So my money was going into our bills, but I was just giving it to him. There was no transparency of what was coming in, what was coming out. And I could have looked. It wasn't like he was hiding every single thing, but a lot of things were digital, you know, so bills didn't come to the house, or I don't know, I didn't put any thought into it. And this is the craziest thing. I didn't put much thought into it, even though I was literally doing everything else besides the bills. I literally did I do his taxes for him. I know how much money he made, and I did his taxes, which is very simple for somebody that has an office job, a standard, job. My taxes are a lot more complicated, and I hate them, and they make me crazy. It wasn't until I started digging or just looking into our financials and looking into certain things that I realized, oh fuck, he's been lying about 4 dozen things. So once I learned about things he lied about, I would bring that to him. That is when he became very aggressive, very violent, very just nasty. That's when the gaslighting happened. And it was like he would overpower me with gaslighting me. And I would get in these conversations that were extremely circular, and it was exhausting. And all of 2022 was that way. Some of 2021, but all of 2022 was just literally that, was just lies, and gaslighting and manipulation and the silent treatment and physical abuse and financial abuse and drug abuse on his side. And I was just on this fucking roller coaster. I did see signs along the way though, but this is what I thought it was. And I believed in my soul that this man has PTSD. That's why he's cold and distant. That's why he shuts down if we're arguing or something. And we never really addressed any of our issues. If we got into a fight or something, or I would be upset because he wouldn't help me at all with our home. I was working 60 hours a week and then putting 40 hours more a week into our house. I was cooking gourmet freaking meals and planning everything, and I did everything. So I'd have a mental breakdown every 6 months because I was literally fucking exhausted. But say that happened. 6 months have gone by. I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna need you to work the dishwasher. I'm gonna need you to pick up a mop or something, right? He would get mad at me, take it as a extreme criticism on his part, because any kind of criticism, no matter how valid, no matter how I framed it, he took it as a personal attack on himself, and he would get horrible. He'd get really nasty to me, and he would just go to sleep, not talk to me the rest of the night, go to sleep, maybe send an I'm sorry text in the morning. Most of our relationship, I just thought that I needed to be more patient because he has PTSD, he's very cold and distant, and I can kind of bridge that gap with him. And there were many, many times in our relationship where he really opened up to me, and I think that I know him better than anyone on this planet, and I think that he knows me better than anyone else on the planet. That can be both very good and very bad. He has the ability, and I'm sure I do for him too, but he has the ability to trigger me and make me go from 0 to prison, like really fast. So I'm not always scared of him. I have moments where I am, and I don't think all victims of domestic violence and narcissistic abuse, I don't think we are all afraid all the time. I don't think that's how that works, because if it was all bad all the time, we wouldn't have stayed as long as we did. Right? Like, there are moments where you just want to fight back. There are moments where you're like, I'm not fucking taking this anymore, and you just want to fight back by any means necessary. You want to stand up for yourself. You don't want to feel like this person can overpower you anymore and lie to you anymore and do all of the things that they're doing. You want to fight back. I don't know if I answered that or if I just rambled on. Oh my, I've only answered 2 questions. I'm so sorry. What would you say your best coping mechanism was through all of this? I don't want to say the first thing that came to my mind. Vodka. Vodka was the first thing that just came to my mind. That's bad. I am doing a lot better with alcohol, but for me, I couldn't get on my phone, I couldn't get online. I had to do things that would keep my mind busy, whether that was working on my home, cleaning, working on arts and crafts projects with the kids, you know, cooking. I literally had to keep myself physically busy so that my mind would like chill the fuck out for a second, especially at first, you know. And I still get like this pretty often because I have anxiety, but I can't sit still. I can't sit still when I'm really anxious, and I have to clean. I can't sit down and watch a show, and I don't know what it is. Like, I would love to sit down and just watch a whole football game, but I can't. I constantly have to be like cleaning or doing something like with my hands for me to be able to like relax a little bit. So when my anxiety is super high, I go on like a cleaning terror, which, you know, I have 2 kids, 2 dogs, and a cat. Okay, I clean the house every day, and every day I have to clean the house. Make that make sense. I've already decorated for Christmas. Mind your business. It's literally Christmas. It's November 20th. So I spent like hours working on this Christmas tree. The next day, I get in the shower and I get out of the shower, right? Like, it was perfect when I went in to take a shower. I get out of the shower. I come downstairs. My children have taken all the ornaments off of the tree and they're playing like imaginary Fortnite. Or no, that's not it. Imaginary Minecraft with it. And I'm like, you know what? What? So my biggest coping mechanism was, yes, therapy, but also like just working on projects, doing art, cleaning, doing things like that to keep my mind busy. So when the police were at his house regarding the motorcycle in the refrigerator where they caught on to him trying to frame you, whatever happened with all of that? I'm so sorry, Jess. I hope sharing your story is helping you process and grieve and grow. Sometimes being strong is really shitty. When everyone around you knows you're strong and knows you'll be okay, you don't always get the support you need. Oh my God. Isn't that the fucking truth? Isn't that the... Please check on your strong friends. Please check on your strong friends, because everyone just thinks I'm just gonna figure it out. And because I have always had to be strong, it's like, she'll be okay. She has 1 million subscribers. She's fine. Actually, I'm a human being. I'm a person too. And like, in my personal life, I have to be the strong one for everyone. Online, I feel like there is an expectation for me to kind of fit the mold and be who other people expect me to be, which is super weird. I will say that other people's expectations of you and me, that's none of our business, girl. You keep doing you. But yeah, what was the original question? Check on your strong friends. Let me see the clip. Hold on. I'll react to it right now. Please stand by while I pull up the video in question. I don't know why I just said that. I'm so weird.
He's not reasonable.
Well, ask him Thursday. This is Reese Klein.
Hey, Reese, it's Parr again. Hey, man. So there is no forced entry to this house. None.
Yeah.
The garage door, to the outside in the garage is blocked. The only thing we can think of is that she has the garage code.
Oh, she does.
She does?
She probably kept it. Yeah. Is there a Harley Davidson?
Is there a Harley Davidson? Where, in the garage? Great. Stole the Harley.
In the garage?
Like a motorcycle?
Yeah.
No.
There isn't?
Nope. Who's it registered?
There's a title to me. It's my motorcycle.
So,
like I have the title to it. It's mine. I bought it. That is a stolen property. That's not a back and forth. I need to report that stolen.
well,
It is so surreal watching these officers walk through our home. It is like gut-wrenching. When I got this body cam footage, I don't even know. It was like an out-of-body experience, you know what I mean? Especially the first one in January where he's saying that the car was stolen. But to answer that question, so essentially what happens is it's not what the cops know, it's not what my ex knew, it's what they can prove. And these officers said, we can't do anonymous tips. Your neighbor does not want to be involved. So unless she says, yes, I went into the house and I took these things, there's nothing that we can do. But I'm thinking that this is going to be a civil issue because this was like an 8-year-long relationship. This was y'all's house together. I know you're the only one on the deed, but this is her stuff. And if she wanted to take things, you know, all these TVs are everywhere. All this expensive stuff is still in the house. You will hear officers say that, like, if they wanted to steal things, like, and they point to my ex's huge, like, it looks kind of small because they're far away from it on the upper level, but they're looking down into the living room. He had this huge curved TV, and then downstairs he had like a fucking 90-inch, did they make those? 85-inch? I don't know. This massive TV that was the entire wall downstairs with huge amps, speakers, sound bars, surround sound. I mean, he had just thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of equipment downstairs in his man cave. And the cops go through and they're like, okay, if I was to break in and steal from you, I would probably take all this shit. There's TVs in every room, dude. Like, this looks hella expensive. So the cop said she would have to admit that she took it because in this county, they want a confession. So the cops called me about, I don't know, 45 minutes or an hour after the body cam footage. The officer called me and said, Jessica, did you go into that house and take items out of it? I said, yes, I did. He goes, like, you did? Like, oh, she's confessing to it. And I said, yes, I did. Every single thing that I took out of my house, I have a receipt for. I have bills at that address. My driver's license says that address. I established residency at that home. I have rights to, and he can sue me for this property if he wants to. I also have every single receipt for every single item I took out of that house. That was the only way to protect myself legally. I didn't have to admit to anything. I could be like, nope, don't know what you're talking about. Call my lawyer, which I would recommend to anyone else. I was very careful to ask my lawyer what to do. On U-Haul Day in episode 3, was it? I'm on the phone with my lawyer that entire time. And I'm like, hey, the lawyer's on the phone. Do you want to talk to him? And Jason goes, tell him what I'm doing. I'm like, he's aggressively screaming and throwing shit into a U-Haul. And my lawyer's like, okay, you know, here's the paperwork from, or whatever the cops are asking for. I emailed that to you. Here's the discrepancy. Did I have permission to enter that house and remove items that belonged to me? My ex will tell you all day long, I did not have permission to enter our home. I'm sorry, his home. And I'll tell you that I did have permission. Either way, that negates the fact that I know that he's going to have to sue me for my property. And the reason why he has not done that or filed a lawsuit to get the property back is because I have receipts for all of it. Almost every single item in that house I paid for, or they were items that were given to us. I didn't even take all of it because my main focus was get the baby books. And, you know, he and I have talked about this a little bit, but he said I was gonna have it delivered to you, I was gonna put it in storage. I don't know if that's true, because up until that point, he was basically holding my things hostage, and just in my opinion, from where I was sitting, what I was seeing, the lies over here, the games with Court over here, the way that I saw it, like the way that I saw the chessboard, was that he was intentionally and maliciously holding my things for me, and I had no clue when I would get my items, if he was actually going to deliver it to me, if he was just gonna take it all with him to Arkansas. I just wanted my baby books. And I am very happy to announce that I did get my baby books back, all of them, even the ones that the foster mom kept for me when Micah was born when I was in prison. So I got all of that stuff back. That is all that matters to me. Was I charged with breaking and entering, residential burglary, stolen theft of a motorcycle? Was I charged with those things? No, I was not. And I will not. The case is closed. What happened with the burglary that was shown in the episode? Did the police realize he was setting you up? There were several moments along this journey that cops were like, yeah, we know that he's doing that, but legally we can't do anything. You're gonna have to go to civil court, family court, you know, like there were a million times that I called to report that he violated the order of protection. They didn't do anything about it. I've probably interacted with every single cop in my area, you know, some of them more than once. So at this point they're like, yeah, we know what it is, but what do you want us to do about it? And I'm like, I don't know, charge him with a felony. He assaulted me in March. He was charged with a misdemeanor. Well, I put the protection, no contact order back on him. He contacted me. They did not they didn't add that to the assault charge. Under domestic violence laws in the state of Illinois, if you violate an order of protection after like so many times, and you also like have assaulted this person, that takes that assault to a felony. It bumps it up. They never did that for him. One of the videos that I have on the channel still, it's titled "My Ex is Facing Prison Time." That statement is true. He's kind of bitched and squabbled about the title of that, but it's true. That's just the facts of it. He was facing prison time. He was charged with assault under domestic violence in the state of Illinois. He was charged with aggravated assault, unlawful discharge of a firearm, possession of a controlled substance, Schedule 3, which is steroids, and possession of an unregistered handgun, which is literally fucking crazy because he also at the same time had an order of protection on him in another state, which means you cannot have a firearm. They never gave two fucks. He got the entire thing in 2 states, all those charges. So several felonies and a misdemeanor. It was deferred. And for those that don't understand the legal system, there is levels to this shit. There's a warning. There's like a traffic ticket. There is a deferment. Some shit can get suspended, probation, prison, or jail time. So all of these levels, when you are able to get cases deferred, that literally only happens under like traffic violations. Say you have a bunch of parking tickets, speeding tickets, very low level offenses. You can get that deferred, that's what they call it in Illinois. Other states might call it a suspended sentence or conditional release. And the terms of that literally just mean, as long as you don't have another traffic violation, another minor low-level offense, definitely not a higher level offense, but as long as you don't get any other offenses, then in a year and a half, whatever they dictate, that just goes away. It goes away. This is not probation. This is not, he doesn't have to meet with a probation officer. He doesn't have to take drug test. There is absolutely zero accountability other than the fact that he had to plead guilty to assault in Illinois. And the most disheartening part of that is that I was not notified as the victim. The state's attorney won't return my calls. I'm not sure if he pled guilty, but I'm assuming so in the state of Arkansas as part of that deal. So as long as he does not get arrested again or have another situation like that, then all of those charges just completely disappear. I've never in my life seen that for felonies. It's not legal to not notify the victim of violent cases. I should have been notified. That is my legal right as the victim in that case to be notified for Illinois. The person that he shot at in Arkansas was the victim of that. He was not notified as well. My ex is a war hero, a rare one. He was with the 173rd Airborne Division. He was first on the ground in Iraq. He has medals and wings with a star in the middle, and he, because he was a sky soldier with the hunter-killer teams, it's rare. It's a very impressive resume. I will never take that away from him. It has given him several get-out-of-jail-free cards. If it wasn't so personal to me, I'd be like, I get it. The sacrifice that he made for this country is substantial. So if it wasn't so personal to me, I'd be like, maybe he should get some get-out-of-jail-free cards. You know what I mean? But because it's so personal to me in this moment right now, I'm like, Jesus, can he just get probation so that he's taking drug tests so that I know that he's sober? Like, I don't want him to go to jail. I just want him to, be sober, I don't think I answered a lot of your questions, and I feel like people are going to be mad at me. But I have been filming for like an hour and 10 minutes, and my battery is blinking and dying. So I'm going to end today's video here. As always, I love you guys. Stay safe, stay in recovery, whatever that looks like to you. And I'll see y'all in my next one. I've been talking to Hollywood recently, and she said, Jess, how come you don't say your outro anymore? And I'm like, I don't say the outro. So this one's for you, Hollywood. I love you guys.